Coming to you live on 2K Sports, this is the NBA. Hi, everyone. Kevin Harlan alongside my broadcast partners Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. It's great to have you with us. The Miami Heat come into tonight's game after losing earlier in the season in their last game against the Brooklyn Nets. Whatever they can do to avoid a sweep here, they'll need to rebound and do it, but the momentum is definitely not in their favor. So the opening lineup for the Heat: Wayne Wade, LeBron James, the best perimeter tandem in the game. Haslem and Bosh are up front, and it's Chalmers in at the 1. And for the Nets, Gerald Wallace, Chris Humphries, and Brook Lopez filling out the front line. Johnson is out there with Darren Williams.
There's never been any question about Darren Williams' ability to score. How about last season with the Nets when he had 57 in a game, including 21 consecutive free throws? And that's a Nets franchise record, the 57 points in one game. Amazing.
Now LeBron, after the missed 3 from Joe Johnson. LeBron with it. He's picked up by Lopez. LeBron kicks to Chalmers. Feeds to Haslem. And the call will be against Darren Williams. That is his first foul of the game. You talk about Williams as a scorer, he can give you those big nights, scoring, but of course also a tremendous playmaker.
Top 5 in assists pretty much his whole career, Kevin, and now with more help this season, I think he'll be able to lean more on his teammates and pile up even additional assists, since he won't have to shoulder the scoring load as much.
There's the pass to Johnson. Another miss by Johnson.
Still can't get anything going here after 3 tries.
And it's out of bounds. The Nets will take it the other way. And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Kevin, I was able to speak with Eric Spoelstra for a moment. We talked about this matchup, and he said, the thing about this game that's tough is their discipline and recognition offensively. Whenever you make a mistake at the defensive end, 9 times out of 10, they're going to exploit it. So we've really got to be on our game. Guys, so much of this game is mental. We'll see who wins the chess match.
Very good, Doris. Thanks so much. So, Steve, Clark, how critical to their defense will be shutting down the sharpshooters in this one?
Well, in my mind, that's their chief weapon, so it's critical. And I think the coach will have come up with a creative defensive game plan. We'll just see if it works.
Well, guys, we've seen plenty of those creative and effective game plans from this coach, so I'm betting that he won't disappoint us here today. When the Nets made the trade for Darren Williams a few seasons ago, Kevin, they were thought to have made a steal of a deal.
You're right.
But you look at the haul they gave up, and it was a pretty steep price to pay.
Oh!
Are you kidding me? That was a power punch right there.
Oh, great.
At his size, he can really finish at the rim.
Yeah, and not just layups, as you just saw, folks. Wow.
Unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, able to throw it down with ease.
Humphries, no good. The Brooklyn Nets come into this one following a loss to the Bulls. Pass to Johnson. From deep. Can't get it to go. And the Heat going the other way now. Their last game, a win against San Antonio, looking to carry that into this one.
And their energy level at the defensive end was fantastic in that game, guys. They made finding an open shot very difficult in half-court situations.
And I thought, Steve, they excelled in transition defense as well. The energy level you talked about was obvious in that part of the game, too.
And the Nets miss again.
Yeah, he's struggled with his shot this quarter, and he's got to find a groove somehow.
Lopez grabs the board.
Now, it would have been fun to see him pull it off, but, you really need the points here. Just put it in the basket.
Brook Lopez drafted 10th by the Nets back in 2008, and it looked like he had star potential. I mean, great size, good hands, excellent skill level. But his defense and rebounding have been a little bit subpar. To be a truly great big man, he'll have to make strides in those areas, and I think he will.
The Nets with the lead. Outside Williams. Back to Wallace. Can't connect from short range.
Pretty good defense there. I mean, that's a shot that he can make, but they really challenged him.
And going back to Brook Lopez, his per-minute rebounding numbers have dropped every season since he came into the league. Steve, I didn't know that until I just saw this stat.
Yeah, that's a little bit alarming for a 7-footer. You know, you want him to take up space and to really rebound his position. So he's got to do a better job of pursuing the ball. You know, he's big, he's tall, and he's got to use that length on the glass.
And the call will be against Deron Williams. That's foul number 2 for him.
Now his aggressiveness is getting the best of him here early on. That's 2 fouls already.
And a new group in for the Nets. Andre Blatch, he's checked in for Lopez. Logans comes in for Chris Humphries. Marshawn Brooks is checked in for Joe Johnson. And it's Watson in for Deron Williams. Allen inside the three-point line. They grab their own miss. Cole dishes to Allen. Over Brooks. There's Allen. That's good on the assist from Cole. Allen's got his first basket. Brooks outside. Dishes it to Watson. Kicks it to Wallace. Watson up top. Brooks defended by Allen. Wallace outside. Got it off in time. Tie game in Brooklyn. And will return.
10.
And we got a close game here as we get back to the second quarter. And looking at what we've seen so far from the Nets, what do you guys think?
How about the three-point shooting? The scoring has really come in bunches from long range.
Yeah, it seems like every time down the floor they're knocking down the triple.
You know, and moving forward for Miami, they probably won't have a lot of cap room because of the big contracts of Bosh, Wade, and LeBron. But remember, it is easy to lure free agents to Miami because of the presence of those three, and then also the attraction of living in Miami.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. And for Miami, looking who they've got out there. Shane Battier is out there with Chris Anderson. Then it's Allen. Then it's Norris Cole. And it's Miller in at the small forward position. And the Nets making a change here. Wallace is checked in. Well, Steve, going back to Miami and them trying to lure talent down to South Beach, not only the city itself, but veterans line up to play, knowing, like we were talking about before, Clark, they have a chance to win a championship.
And that's the motivation. And as long as the big three are there, they won't have any trouble finding players who have been let go or in the last years of their contracts who want to play for a winner. And those kind of players are willing to give up some cheese for some gold.
So for the Nets, Chris Humphries has checked in for Wallace. Johnson comes in for Keith Bogans. And Deron Williams is subbed in for C.J. Watson. Udonis Haslem, he's checked in for Miami. The Heat trail by 4. Makes the alley-oop pass. Deft touch on the alley-oop.
Boy, they saw the opening for that alley-oop, guys, and they didn't waste any time.
Well, those openings don't stay there for long, that's for sure.
That's right. It's got to be an immediate play because those defenses are so fast.
Chalmers against Williams. He kicks to Johnson. And again, it's the Nets missing. He'd have gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter.
And, you know, guys, Mario Chalmers has been a good fit in Miami as that point guard because he doesn't need the ball in his hands all the time. LeBron and Wade can handle it. He can spot up and take threes. And then at the other end of the floor, he's a scrappy defender as well. Yeah, the referee's all over that one.
No doubt about it. Clearly a foul. Nothing to argue about there. And, you know, you look at a guy like Mario Chalmers. I mean, some of his weaknesses as a player are minimized playing for the Heat. He's not a great finisher or an elite playmaker, but again, he can leave that to LeBron and D. Wade to create and play off of those guys. It really helps his game.
That's good. Johnson's got 5 points so far.
He's going to take that shot every time.
Oh,
Look out.
Oh, wow. Pretty significant lapse there on the defensive end, guys.
Yeah, those are the ones you just can't allow that.
No, if you're giving up dunks and layups defensively, you're in huge trouble.
Here is Watson, defended by Chalmers. That's good.
I really like the fire, the intensity that they're playing with now. They got off to a tough start, there in the first quarter. They didn't shoot it particularly well, but they've played through it. They've been able to stick with it, and that, to me, that shows their resilience.
Wade outside. The shot is off, and Brooklyn will come the other way.
Well, it's kind of scary when you play against Miami. I mean, that talent is so overwhelming. So what a lot of teams try to do is zone them just to cut down on the dribble penetration and force Miami to take outside shots.
Looking at who's out there now for the Nets. Lopez comes in for Chris Humphries, and it's Marshawn Brooks in for Joe Johnson. LeBron outside. Back to Bosh. Now here's LeBron. He's tightly guarded.
Well, Kevin, this guy is such an incredible player. He can really do it all. He's so unique in that he's the best athlete in the game, but also amazingly unselfish with the court vision in transition to find teammates. But if he needs to score, he'll score, too.
And, Steve, some have called on him to be more assertive looking for a shot, but that's not his nature. That's not how he's wired. One area he has gotten more aggressive in, though, is looking to score inside, where his strength and athleticism really make him almost unguardable.
Brooks. Wade is covering, and the foul on Dwayne Wade. That's his first foul. Gerald Wallace, he's checked in for Brooklyn. A different look for Miami. Brooks misses. And it might seem like a bit of, bunker approach, but if you are faced with giving LeBron and Wade a jump shot or a dunk, there isn't too much hesitation, I don't think, Clark, in your answer.
No, I would agree. I mean, there are a couple of things that scare you about the Heat. First, they can knock down outside shots and beat you if you try to go to a zone and close off driving lanes. And secondly, they're still probably able to find a way to get inside and dunk through you or over you.
It's kind of like pick your poison.
Yeah, they come at you in a couple of different ways.
Lopez passes to Williams. Lopez kicks to Williams. There's the three, and it's rejected.
A tight game here, and neither team has been able to gain an upper hand on the backboard.
Well, both teams really getting after it inside. It's been an interesting battle.
Joe Johnson, he's checked in for Gerald Wallace. Williams for three. Another miss by Williams.
Well, it looks like he's cooled down a bit after hitting those two in the first quarter.
Here's Cole, looking for his first bucket of the game. He feeds it to Anderson. 6 on the shot clock. Rebounded by the Nets. Tipped.
Now running a little bit of time off. Looks like they're going to play for the final shot.
Steve, you're right. If nothing presents itself, hold for one.
Williams against Miller. It's Williams with the drive. Got it up. And that's not going to go. And a tight game here as we end the first half.
21-18.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first two quarters.
Take a look at what Williams has done. 6 points and a couple of three-pointers have gone down for him, too.
Yeah, he's looked good letting it fly from deep. I wouldn't put it past him to have even more success from out there before this one is said and done, Clark.
Johnson, Wallace, and Humphries are the 2, 3, and 4 in order. Brook Lopez is out there with Darren Williams. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. That's in coming off an assist from Johnson. 9 points for Darren Williams.
Well, Joe Johnson, particularly now that he's later in his career, has become primarily a perimeter shooter. He used to get to the rim a lot more, taking advantage of that big, strong body. But he's also got great footwork, and he's an excellent shooter. So he's pretty good from mid-range and beyond.
Chalmers against Williams. Well-placed jumper from the free throw line. Williams has got 5 points in the quarter.
Well, good job finding a little opening in the defense and burying the jumper.
The Heat trail by 8. And Joe Johnson, a jump shooter, as you mentioned, Steve, gets about 2/3 of his shots from mid-range and out.
But, Kevin, he's really a good shooter from everywhere. I mean, when he does go inside, he finishes well. He's got a nice in-between game with his floater. He's got the full package, I think, offensively. He's much stronger and quicker than he appeared.
And one of the trademarks of the many best point guards in the league, their ability to score in addition to distribute. So here now a look at the top scoring point guards this season. Deron Williams, fourth.
Well, this is a collection of maybe the most well-rounded players in the league. To see those kinds of scoring numbers from the point guard position is crazy.
Yeah, it's wacko. That's sort of the era we're in right now, though. A point guard who consistently takes things into his own hands is far more common than it used to be. Some people may not like it, but that's the way of the modern NBA. Change is inevitable, and I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing.
You know, he's given them a nice scoring option through most of this game.
With the move to Brooklyn now complete, we can look back at how the Nets fared in terms of playoff appearances during their time in New Jersey. They did a decent job of getting to the playoff while in New Jersey.
Finals a couple times.
Nice job there. He knows how to get that ball in the bucket, doesn't he, guys?
And we're just around 2 minutes into the final half of play now. Can he keep it going? It's rebounded by Bosch. And it was hard, Steve, when the Nets were in the ABA. They won the 3 titles in 5 years, but the New Jersey version just didn't have that same success.
Well, the best years for the Nets were probably when Jason Kidd was running the show back a few years ago. They made the finals in consecutive years. But now it's a chance to start new in Brooklyn, start something special. And they're going to bank on this new venue, new location to try to jumpstart their franchise.
So for the Nets, Andre Blatch, he's checked in for Lopez. Marshawn Brooks comes in for Chris Humphries. And it's Watson in for Deron Williams. Stolen by Bosch. Oh, and a fast break for the Heat. And then Wade slams it in.
Nice aggressive defensive play to make the steal and start the break.
Yeah, and I like the fact they didn't mess around with it once they got it.
Nets have gone 3 of 4 so far in the third quarter from the field. Pretty good start to the half. And out of bounds as the Heat gain possession.
A moment here to take a look at some of the numbers for Dwayne Wade. 6th in steals. He was 8th in scoring. With a top 20 ranking in field goal percentage. He's done a nice job of creating good looks for himself.
And, Steve, I think we should take a look back at his top 10 steals ranking that you mentioned a bit ago. I mean, that's impressive. This guy gets it done. Jumps the passing lanes when appropriate, but he also can pick the pocket of the ball handler, too.
The drive by LeBron. He dishes it to Chalmers. Passes it to Wade. Wade left side. Over Watson. Dwayne Wade again. They got on this roll a while ago, and they just haven't looked back.
Well, he's got the special ability, Kevin, to make shots while being heavily guarded. And I don't know how he does it, but he figures out a way to get the ball in the basket, even under pressure.
Also, guys, so often we see him playing possum at the defensive end. And then all of a sudden he springs into action, picks off a pass, and ignites the fast break.
Here's what Brooklyn's going with right now. Gerald Wallace is checked in for Lopez. Hogans comes in for Marshawn Brooks. And it's Johnson in for Deron Williams. Blatch kicks to Wallace. Gets it to go.
Gerald Wallace.
Wallace has got his first points of the game.
The defense left him just a little window to get through, and he just ducked in for the layup. Terrific job.
And, you know, a lot of people aren't aware of this, but Eric Spoelstra's father was once the general manager of the Portland Trail Blazers. And Eric went on to play at the University of Portland, had a nice career there before hooking on with the Miami Heat. He's been with the organization for a long time.
The drive by Wade. And boy, that looked like goaltending. Yes, it is. And so they will award the basket there.
He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block. But that one's going to count.
Yeah, the fans not happy at all with that whistle.
And the fans, as you would expect, not allowing their feelings to be kept on mute. They didn't care for that one.
Chris Humphries has checked in for Brooklyn. There's 39 seconds left in the third quarter. Blatch kicks to Watson. gets the three-pointer to fall. Watson's got 5 now. Guys, close one here. No team getting a huge advantage.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, there have already been 5 lead changes, but nobody taking control of it.
Great matchup. I mean, these two teams really, really match up well talent-wise. I'm enjoying this.
The feed now to Blatch. And it's out of bounds. The Heat will take it the other way.
That's a poor possession. You just give away the ball with a sloppy pass.
12 seconds left here in the third quarter. LeBron kicks to Chalmers. Just 3 on the clock. And that is good. 6 points for him. That's the end of the third, and it's all tied up.
33.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is
Blanette shooting under 40% all in all for the game. On the court for the Heat, Mario Chalmers and the electric D. Wade at the guards. Haslam and Bosh are up front, and it's LeBron in at the small forward. And Mario Chalmers gets the whistle that time. And that'll be his third foul so far.
First team foul.
Outside Williams. Drains the J off the nimble drop step. Williams has got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for the Nets. Bosh against Lopez. Wade outside. The dish to Chalmers. Shoots the 3. And it's Johnson with the rebound.
Well contested shot, and they did an excellent job of not fouling the shooter.
Defense is about effort and commitment and discipline. He's a good defender because of those things.
Williams dishes to Wallace. Johnson outside. Just 5 on the clock. The Nets need to get a shot off here. The offensive rebound. Lopez kicks to Johnson. Feeds it to Williams. Williams double team. Open shot. Lopez. Good, and it's Williams who picks up the assist.
Well, he took advantage of that mismatch size-wise, went right up with it.
Yeah, he loves those mid-range jumpers.
The Nets making a switch here. Humphries checked in. About a minute and a half through the fourth quarter now. Williams double team. They double him with LeBron. Johnson kicks to Williams. Wallace back to Williams. He passes to Humphries. Haslam on him. Puts up the baby hook. And again, it's Brooklyn converted.
They continue to barrel their way inside, and when's the defense going to adjust?
Well, I'm asking the same question myself, partner. I mean, that's 8 points out of their last 10 coming inside.
Well, after all those struggles in the first half, he has really picked it up here in the second.
And the foul on Dwayne Wade. That'll be his second foul of the game. Andre Blatch, he's checked in for Brooklyn. And Miami with a change here, too. Ray Allen, he's checked in for Udonis Haslem. Wallace kicks to Johnson. Nailed from three-point land. And the Nets lead by 7.
Another 3 goes down, guys.
Yeah, you got to get up into them defensively. I mean, you got to put pressure on guys and make them put the ball on the floor.
The jump hook. And again, it's Dwayne Wade. Wade's got 15 points in just the second half. And there's the call on Bosh. That is his first foul of the game. Brook Lopez is checked in for Andre Blatch. Heat also with the sub. Haslam's checked in. Williams against Wade. And the foul on Dwayne Wade. That's his third foul of the game.
That's his third personal foul. 14 foul.
Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. Williams. But they get it back. Johnson outside. And stolen by LeBron.
That pass never had a chance there. His timing was perfect in going after that steal.
It's stolen by Johnson. Can't get the heave to fall.
2 minutes.
That's a great shot if there's 1 second left in the game.
Yeah, that would be the good time to do it. Not now, though.
Chalmers against Williams. Wallace. Back to Williams. We've got 1:48 left in the fourth quarter. Kicks it out to Johnson. A 3-ball. They get it back. The kick out to Williams. Johnson. Now Williams. Back to Johnson. And there's the pass to Williams. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Shot clock at 6. Wallace. Wade is covering. Shoots a 3. Knocks it loose. The Heat trail by 5. Pass to Chalmers. Jacks up a 3. Lays out. Rebounded by Wallace. The Nets have gotten just under 45% of their attempts to drop in the fourth of 9.
Shooting for Brooklyn. Darren Williams.
So the first one drops, and that increases their lead to 6. And so both free throws are good, and it's a 7-point game.
Well done converting those free throws. He was not going to pass up that opportunity to pad the lead.
Timeout called the Heat. They trail by 7. 56 seconds left in the fourth. Chris Anderson is checked in for Miami. Patty comes in for Udonis Haslem. All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Guys, over that last break, I listened to Eric Spoelstra address his team. He rallied the troops saying, nobody said it was going to be easy. They're not laying down. They're not going away. If we want this game, we have to take it from them. Kevin, plenty of fire in that speech.
Now here's Williams. Wallace outside. 6 to shoot. Kicks it to Lopez. Working on Anderson. With 1 on the clock. Lopez, no luck.
Well, you know what? You really expect him to knock that jumper down when he gets a good look like that.
3-pointer, Wade. Rebounded by the Nets. And it's Wallace penetrating. And Mario Chalmers gets the whistle that time. That will get him his 4th foul of the game, and due to the bonus, we will head to the line for 2. And gets the first one to drop. The Nets making a switch here. No good at the stripe this time. Second misses also. Here's Battier. Misses the shot. And so it's Brooklyn with the win. They came, they saw, they